We stand together, we stand as one. We will not be broken, we'll overcome.
Hello. I want to talk a little bit more about what it takes to really make plans for your social media platforms. A lot of times people just assume it's a simple pick up and go thing. If you want to be successful, there is always planning that is going to be involved. Now, for those of you who don't realize it, that planning never really translates to how it appears on the video. As many of you who see my videos here, you may be aware that I don't, I'm not having a lot of second takes or a lot of changes that are being done in my editing here. But just to get like those overlays and so forth to fit the thematic elements that I'm aiming for does take quite a bit of work. Now, if you want a consistent theme element with your social media, it will take a lot of positioning. Like, you'll have to think about how your background is going to look. For a lot of you who don't know this, I do TikTok live streams, and this Saturday will be the first stream that you will see this background. I wanted something a lot more coordinated than I had in the past. So, in this regard, I had decided, well, let's see if I can manage to move this here and that there. And if you haven't guessed, I also have a couple of figures here that are actually from a game series. I also have the two pumpkins that were gotten as little knickknacks for Halloween. But if you get closer, you will actually see the stems are actually like witches' hats. This right here, I hadn't turned on because I didn't think about it till just now. But it is a cheap fireplace ambiance feature. I will be doing a lot more with that being in my lives than I had in the past, now that I've remembered that I had to turn it on right in the middle of recording this. Sometimes we think of things in different ways. So, we might need to plan how we're going to approach things. Sometimes when you get into certain parts of the country, you can see a lot of differences in the way the political ideologies mesh socially. Now, I already did a very impromptu video about this. I'm trying to do this differently to where people can actually hear the audio properly. Well, when you get to a part in the country where they're that LGBTQ, you can actually get, or just supporting that group, causing threats of violence, sometimes even death threats. So somebody like myself obviously is going to try to hide. Now, that is a very big shame because that had actually put a lot of my life on hold. Now, it took like 2 or 3 years of, actually no, not more than, like about 6 years of different life experiences that got me to a point where I could actually come out of my shell and actually come out. But if I didn't have that, I probably would have done it a lot earlier. So, everybody's life story, even within one country that has a lot of privilege, does make for different stories, different tapestries. And one of the nice things about social media, which is also a double-edged sword because it's also a negative element, is it gives the individual the freedom to tell that story. It also gives freedom for critics to come out of the woodwork and do more. But you can put distance by being on social media. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have spent a long time on social media platforms, no matter what platform it is. I try to do things differently depending on the platform. So like here, this being YouTube, it's going to be a lot more long format discussion, and it's going to be more of this talk kind of setting. When we get to the live streams on TikTok, it's going to be a lot more chill, a lot more exciting. I don't do that much exciting when it comes to pre-planned things, because I'm not 100% sure how the audience person like yourself is going to view it. And I'm not gonna play with you about it. But I have had a professor that does that's trans. I know a professor that is gay. I've had people that were like classmates, LGBTQ. This is all in college. That where I went to college got me thinking, well, why am I hiding things? And the only reason why I kept hiding things is my biggest community that I knew at the time was a conservative Christian church in the area. And I was not going to have myself messed over that way. If I got better, better support, better community within, let's say, another aspect, I probably would have, opened up a bit more.